Hello everybody, I am Judy Leon and today I want to show you this mind map. This is about a publication made by Mark Smith in 2002. His article is about Malcolm Knowles, informal adult education, direction and andragogy. So first of all, I'm going to about Malcolm Knowles. He was born in 1813 and died in 1897. He was an American adult educator. He was famous for his contributions and the development of notions such as informal adult education, self-directed learning, work in the 1950s. The first person who promoted the movement of adult education in the United States. He was also the first one to develop informal adult education practice, and he attempted a comprehensive theory of adult education called andragogy against pedagogy that is focused on education for children. His main publications are Informal Adult Education in 1850, Modern Practice of Adult Education in 1870, Adult Learner in 1873, and Self-Directed Learning in 1875. So now I'm going to talk to you about the first notion, that is adult informal education. According to Malcolm Knowles, formal education is established in educational institutions and classes are well organized. On the other hand, informal education characteristics are different, so there is flexibility of the process. The use of experience, enthusiasm, and commitment of participants is the main source for learning. Informal education is carried out at organizations, associations, and clubs such as community centers, labor unions, churches, among others, and group and forum approaches are the main methodology for learning. So when others go to this kind of organizations, they don't go for credits, but because they really want to be involved in those topics and those activities. Malcolm Knowles was very concerned about human relation skills, and he thought that the main role of education should provide people the tools to encourage the human relation skills. So he stated that adult education should have the following learning outcomes. The first one is material understanding of themselves. This is to say that adults are able to understand and identify their interests, motivations, needs, capacities, and goals. They are also able to accept and respect themselves and look at themselves objectively. Another outcome is to develop an attitude of acceptance, love, and respect towards others. That is, to foster empathy and the sincere desire to help others. Another outcome is the dynamic attitude towards life. This involves to accept the fact of change, to look at themselves as always changing, and to view the change as an experience and as opportunity for growing. Learning outcome is learn to react to causes and not symptoms. So according to Knowles, the solution to problems lie on the causes and not the symptoms. So learners should apply this lesson to both, to the physical world and to human relations. Other learning outcomes are acquired skills to achieve the potential of their personalities, value human experience, that is, traditions and heritage of everybody in the world, and finally, understand society and direct social change. So according to Knowles, everybody should know about economics, about international affairs, politics, in order to make good decisions about social order, since we are immersed in a democracy. So now I'm going to talk about andragogy. So remember that this has to do with adult education. So there are 5 assumptions about the characteristics of adult education. They are self-concept, experience as a resource for learning, readiness to learn, orientation to learning. So adult education is not subject-centered but problem-centered. So learners apply the knowledge immediately and they have an internal motivation to learn. Now we are going to see some definitions about andragogy. According to Knowles, andragogy is the art or science to help others to learn. Moreover, Marian and Kefarella state that andragogy is a comprehensive theory or model of adult learners that takes into account their characteristics. And Cross defines andragogy as a framework for thinking about what and how adults learn. To wrap up, I'm going to talk to you about self-direction. So according to Knowles, direction is a process in which individuals take the initiative in diagnosing learning needs, setting learning goals, identifying human and material resources, choosing and implementing learning strategies, and evaluating learning outcomes. Malcolm also stated some reasons for self-directed learning. So the first one is because self-directed learning encourages proactive learners versus reactive learners. So proactive learners learn better and more, have greater motivation, retain more, and use what they learn. Okay, self-direction is also important because nowadays everybody needs to take responsibility for their own lives, and that also involves to take responsibility for their own learning. A third reason is that current developments of education put heavy responsibility on learners, since now education is not teacher-centered but student-centered. And finally, the main purpose of education is to develop the skill of inquiry. So now learners don't only get information, but also learners should be critical about the information and about the work. So that's it. I hope that you have found interesting this article about adult education, and I hope this information is useful for you. So thank you so much for your attention. See you in a following screencast. Bye bye.